You know, in the world of international cricket, decisions don't get much more seismic than this. Pakistan, a team that's literally built on legends, just made a call that has sent absolute shockwaves through the sport. They've benched their biggest names right before a major tournament. Okay, let's get into what's going on here.
That's right. The Pakistan Cricket Board drops its squad for the Asia Cup, and two names were just not there: Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. I mean, we're talking about the heart and soul of their batting lineup for the last 5 years, just gone. And that is the question that every single cricket fan is asking: why now? Why them? Look, this isn't just some regular selection choice. This is a massive statement. It's a huge gamble that could either kickstart a brand new era for Pakistan cricket, or it could backfire spectacularly. To really wrap your head around this, you have to understand just how massive Babar and Rizwan are in Pakistan. This wasn't like dropping a couple of players who are out of form. No, this was a full-blown coup. See, they aren't just players. They have been the entire foundation of the T20 side. Statistically, they are the single most successful batting pair in the whole history of T20 internationals. Dropping one of them would have been a huge headline. Dropping both? That's an earthquake. And this whole story, it actually goes deeper than just one tournament. Both players were also demoted from the elite Category A of the Pakistan Cricket Board's central contracts. Now, just last year, they were the only two players in that top tier. This year, Category A is empty, and they've both been dropped down to B. The message from the board could not be any clearer. Okay, so why the sudden dramatic change? Well, to really understand the why, we have to dive into this major philosophical shift that's happening in T20 cricket right now. It's really a debate about the very soul of the game. This quote from their former coach, Mickey Arthur, just gets right to the heart of it. The argument isn't that they're bad players. I mean, come on, everyone agrees they're absolutely world-class. The argument is that the game itself has sprinted ahead, and they've kind of been left behind. So what does that evolution actually look like? Well, it all comes down to this clash of philosophies. Babar and Rizwan, they mastered what's called the anchor role, building an innings carefully, a bit slower, with a strike rate around 125. But modern T20, it demands aggressive intent from the very first ball. It's this relentless, high-risk, high-reward approach with strike rates pushing past 150. And Pakistan's management has basically decided you can't win in today's world with yesterday's strategy. 117. What's that? Well, that was Mohammad Rizwan's T20 strike rate in 2024. And in an era where teams are regularly scoring 250 plus, a strike rate that low from an opener it's seen as completely unacceptable. It's more suited for a 50-over game than a 20-over slugfest. So, with the architects of the old era gone, what does the new one look like? This new squad, it's been built for one thing and one thing only: that aggressive brand of cricket we were just talking about. On paper, the strategy is pretty clear. They've stacked the top of the order with serious hitters. You've got Sahibzada Farhan striking at nearly 145, Muhammad Haris at a blistering 155. Then you add in the experienced power of Fakhar Zaman, and you have a top three designed for pure, unfiltered aggression. And of course, they're backed up by a world-class pace attack led by Shaheen Afridi. But, and this is a big but, here's the risk. The middle order looks fragile, it looks inexperienced. You have players who've struggled for consistency recently. So if that explosive top order fails, there isn't much of a safety net. And the pressure on these young guys to fill the shoes of legends, it's going to be immense. So you can see, this decision is so much more than just a talking point for fans. It's a massive, high-stakes gamble that has completely split the cricket-loving nation right down the middle. Now, the official line from the PCB chairman, Mohsin Naqvi, is that this is purely a merit-based decision, made entirely by the selectors. He's kind of distancing himself, framing it as a professional, calculated move towards a new vision for the team. And for a pretty significant part of the fan base, this is exactly what they wanted to hear. They see Babar and Rizwan's slower strike rates as the real problem that was holding the team back. For them, this move is liberation. But on the other side of that coin, you have millions of others who found the decision completely baffling. I mean, dropping the team's backbone, their most consistent run scorer, to them, it feels like total disrespect to a player who has carried the team for years.
So, with the battle lines clearly drawn, is this the end of the road for two of Pakistan's modern greats? Or is there a path for them to get back into the fold?
Well, according to the new head coach, Mike Hesson, the door is not completely shut. He's basically laid out a public challenge. He acknowledges that Babar is too good to ignore forever, but he's put the ball firmly in the player's court to adapt and evolve his game. So the path forward is actually crystal clear. Both players have already signed contracts to play in global T20 leagues. Babar is headed to Australia's Big Bash League and Rizwan to the Caribbean Premier League. Their mission is simple. Go there, absolutely dominate, and prove that they can play the modern aggressive game. If they can evolve, a return is definitely possible.
And so it all comes down to this. The Asia Cup will be the first big test. Is this the dawn of a new, fearless, trophy-winning Pakistan? Or is this going to be a cautionary tale about abandoning the very players who made you great in the first place? Well, we are all about to find out.